Hey, so I'm gonna try this again. I guess you live and learn, and Facebook Live is a new function for me, and I'm still learning how to do it. So what happened was I got a phone call from a tech person for my email, which was not functioning correctly, and I had to take it. So I had to turn off the Facebook Live, and quite honestly, I couldn't even see what I was doing anymore. So I don't know if I was still recording or not, but. Anyway, so here I am. So I'm going to try to do this on a daily basis to talk about, to update you on a concert for peace. Um, we're building this concert from scratch, right? We are starting from zero. The last time we had a concert together, Long Island Voices, that was in 2015, and that was a small concert. Relatively speaking, we sang at the First Presbyterian Church of Port Jefferson, where I was working at the time. Our last large concert was back in 2014 when we sang, when I conducted the Brahms German Requiem, and we sang that, and Sound Symphony played for us. So Sound Symphony is back. Long Island Voices is organizing, and our group comes from a bunch of different, singers from a bunch of different groups around the area. So I was showing you the map before. I actually tried to figure out who I'm actually recruiting from this time, because the rehearsals are in Bayport United Methodist Church. And it looks like it's a good section of Long Island. I don't think you can really see that, but I kind of circled the area there. This is a map that I have of the different school districts as I are planning to get my new catalog out to these districts. And also to recruit singers from Tri-M honor societies. Maybe there's some singers that are, some high school kids that are looking to do some community service and everything for Tri-M requirements or from National Honor Society requirements. And this is a benefit concert. This is a concert to raise money for FIST, Families in Supportive Treatment, and also 911 veterans. So this definitely would qualify. The rehearsals and the performance would qualify as community service. The last movement is really coming along. What's really cool right now is that I'm composing as I'm doing other things. In fact, I have music off a lot these last couple of days because the last movement is playing in my head. The orchestra is really beginning to fill out in the Pacem Lingua Vobis. I'm hearing the bridges now, and I'm hearing there's this one section towards the end of this is, by the way, this Pacem Lingua Vobis is the 9th movement of the Requiem. So this is the last thing that anybody's going to hear in the concert. I've been writing this Requiem for 10 years now, and this movement is a culmination of 10 years of developing this Requiem, and it's a big deal to me. I've actually written the last movement twice, and I've changed my mind on it. We performed it in 2010 one way, and then I rewrote it, and we performed it in 2011 another way. And I never really felt that it was able to capture the feeling and the whole entire message of the Requiem. This one does, and it's going to be big. I think the orchestra's going to love playing it. In fact, I got a little carried away with the orchestra. It really builds and builds and builds. It's kind of like a march towards peace. It never completely resolves its sound because our march towards peace is never completely resolved. But it's a cry for peace. It's a march towards peace. It's very determined, and it builds and builds and builds. And I think that Sound Symphony is going to really love performing it. So I was like, I have this great orchestra part. It's coming. I'm really hearing it. It's developing. There's an organ that comes in at a certain point. Really powerful. It's cool stuff. And I was like, well, what about the voices? They're going to be standing around for the last movement for about like a good 10 minutes. The last movement's around 15 minutes long. For 10 minutes of it, they're not going to be singing. Well, I've changed that. Now the choir is going to be building with the orchestra. And I really like the choir part that's coming out. A lot of it's unison, actually, because the idea of crying for peace, the idea is to have one voice crying for peace. So, maybe in a later update I'll play a little bit of it for you, of this final movement. It's just going to build and build and build. There's going to be organ, there's going to be timpani, there's going to be brass, there's going to be all this great stuff, and I can't wait. I really want to do this concert on Facebook Live too, so those of you that are far away that would like to hear it, that would be great. It's going to be in Bayshore on Long Island, the concert, at a beautiful, beautiful space, St. Peter's by the Sea. For any of you who have ever heard the Evoco Voice Collective, conducted by David Freiling, they perform there in the Bayshore Church, and they're an outstanding group as it is, but what a great space to perform in too. And Mark Engelhardt is the organist there, and he's going to be playing organ for us. So it's going to be wild. We've also launched our crowdfunding campaign. We're going to be building this whole entire campaign from zero. I already got my first $50 donation. All the money that we raise is going towards the concert. We have to raise for this concert with the orchestra, with the organist, the harpist. I also need to bring in an assistant conductor because I physically cannot take on all the rehearsals, the physical part of all the rehearsals. So I have a great colleague that's going to be coming in also. Anyway, in total, none of this is going towards the creation of the music, but we need to raise $8,250 to make this concert happen. That's including renting the orchestra, the concert space, the rehearsal space, forgetting things. There's other things also. So we have a crowdfunding campaign. It's all being done through Fractured Atlas. They're our fiscal sponsor. So any of the donations in the crowdfunding campaign will be sent to them, and then as I need to pay for certain things, they'll cut the checks. So it's great. I'm very excited about this. I couldn't build this concert from zero if I hadn't had the experience of summer of 2010, summer of 2011, summer of 2014, summer of 2015. Those are the 4 previous years that we've performed. I think there was one other one too. And there's been countless singers and just beautiful people volunteering, ton of time. From day one, 2010, when I said I wanted to do these concerts over the summer, these benefit concerts, people were like, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up to sing? Where do I sign up to help? Where do I sign up to donate? And we've raised the money. We started very small in the beginning. We did the concert with organ and choir at the beginning, and the space was donated for rehearsals, and the space was donated for the performance. Now we've built up, and it's a pretty big event. So I'm very excited. I keep saying that that's gonna be a common theme in these daily updates. Is I'm very excited, but it's just great to get back into it. As a composer. And as somebody who is physically challenged, I spend a lot of time working from home when I have to, and I miss being with a group and either singing in a group or in this case conducting a group, and so this is just going to be very exciting. We're still looking for those of you that are local. We're still looking for basses and tenors. We still, of course, are accepting sopranos and altos, but I'm asking if you're interested in joining as a soprano or an alto to find a buddy who's a bass or a tenor and convince them to come and sing also. They will not be disappointed. This is going to be a very exciting concert. So anyway, I guess that's it for today. If I flipped this around and you saw my workspace, you would freak out. It's been a little bit crazy lately. Yesterday, Melissa's car broke down, and between Zoe and Kira and Melissa, I drove the car for 5 hours yesterday. It wasn't expected. That was usually my busy work day, but it wasn't my busy work day. Although I was composing in my head the whole entire time I was driving, so that was cool. But anyway, It's a little crazy around here. I'm hoping once I get the final movement done, you know, the stress will just go down just a little bit, and I'll be able to enjoy it a little bit more. I am determined to go camping with Kira in June. So if I can get up to Vermont and in a tent and have Kira with me, I know she would really love to be in the mountains like me. If I can do that, that means that things are going well and that things are going according to plan. So anyway, all right, that's it for now. Have a great day, everybody. How do I stop this thing? How do I stop this thing and not look foolish? Let's see. Is there an off button? Finish. Bye.